Hello, hello, welcome, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. So if you're in Canada and you're looking for a demonstrator, I'd be happy to help you if you need any help. Look me up, send me a message, whatever. If you're watching for the first time, this is a live that I do every week. It's kind of an instructional tutorial. But it's also just a way to get you using your crafts. Hopefully it introduces you to the new stuff that's out and how to use it. But I love to do techniques, so it's something that you can do with most everything that you might already have. So, you know, if you ever feel like crafting along with me, that's great too. Make sure you let me know you're watching. Say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. If you want to share this video with your friends, it would make me more than happy for you to share. And yeah, so today we are going to be playing with pop-ups. The idea came to me from the little, I had bought these, I think they're wobbly pop-ups or something to make your things like pop up and kind of wiggle. But I just thought, you know, it'd be easy just to make them with paper and do pop-ups with different things instead of just using dimensionals. So anyways, I've got 3 different types of pop-ups for you today. Hopefully you enjoy them and hopefully you try them with whatever stuff you have. All right, let's get started and turn you around. Ugh, if I can get it out of the cradle here and not make you totally seasick. Try not to turn it off as I get it in here. Okay, you can see all my mess. It's a very big mess, unfortunately, right now. I was designing the last card right up to the last minute. So, yeah, I might have troubles. Hi, Linda. I might have troubles finding pieces and parts to things as I go. Hopefully it won't be too difficult, but we'll see. All right, we'll start with the simplest, easiest, well, I don't know, the most simple card, simple looking card, least steps, and then we'll go from there. So my first pop-up is just going to be a small piece of the card that's popping up. So I decided to use the beautiful Latte Love bundle, which is one of the online exclusives. I was at an event this weekend with my upline and they used this bundle and it just kind of, I've already used it. You guys have seen me use it. We did some watercoloring with it, but this is just another fun way if you've got coffee lovers in your life. My family, my immediate family are not, well, my husband has started drinking coffee late in life. But he doesn't love it. So I love tea. So this makes me, you know, mugs, whatever. It's just as you can use it. You don't have to use it for coffee. I do have lots of other people in my life though that love coffee. So it's all good. So I just have my simple card base, which is the thick basic white, which by the way, oh, I didn't think to tell you this. I told my monthly club that there's quite a few, what do you call them? Staple items that are going to be going up in price with the new catalog in May. So you might want to stock up, whether you do it now or you wait until, I think April 9th is when the last chance items start, but that's when things start flying off the shelves. So things like cardstock, envelopes, green glue, glue dots, blends, ink refills, cutting plates, blender brushes, blends, they're all going up in price. So if you need any of that stuff, stock up in the next little bit. You can find this stuff on the store. Okay, so we've got our card base, and then I've got just a piece of paper here to do my cups. So I've got my cup and it looks like it still has some ink on it. I was obviously in a rush. Okay, and then we've got a pretty peacock, which is what I think was on here. So we'll start with that one. And I'm just gonna stamp this down. And then I'm going to use Lost Lagoon, but I need to find a chamois. Okay. And make sure I almost stuck it back into the pretty peacock. But, oh, I totally messed that up. Okay, we're gonna do that over again in a second here. And you will see why. Okay, let me close that one. Actually, I had done that one on purpose because it's darker, it's easier. Okay, we'll do the pretty peacock one again. Now the reason I'm redoing it is because I want my cup to be flipped the opposite way. If you've been watching me for a while, you probably have seen this before, but you can reverse your stamps. I used to do it on our silicone mat, but now that we have the glass mat, it's even easier. So be careful when you're stamping your image down, because you can see it's slippery and it moves. And then, so we've got a nice good image, and I'm simply going to put my cup somewhat on top. This is going to be hard to cut now that I'm doing it this way. And I'm just going to pick up the ink. And I'm going to carefully pick it up. And I've got a bit of a smudged look of a cup, but that's okay because it's going to get colored and it's not really going to show. But now it's, so my handle is this way on this one and my handle is this way on this one. So that's what I wanted. And I'm going to cut this right now because otherwise I'm going to get mixed up and I'm going to use the wrong side. So this is the side I'm using and this is the side I'm using. Then I've got some coffee, the coffee here, and I find pecan pie is a great coffee color. You could use early espresso as well, as seeing as it's an espresso color, but this one's more of a latte or coffee, so it's not as dark. They put milk in their coffee. Okay, so we've got our coffee there. And then we're going to color our mugs, which I don't know why I put away my stamp pads here. And then we've got this brush, and I don't have anything to... I think I've got some of the dark. So I'm going to start with the lighter one. And I'm going to come in. Oops. You could do this with blends. You can do it with your blender brush. You can get many looks with many different ways. And this is why I like to do it on my glass, because it just avoids those funny spots. And so this one is the Lost Lagoon. Okay, then we're gonna come in with the pretty peacock. Don't need a whole lot. It's pretty darn dark. So like I said, I knew I was going to be going over this. So the fact that it's a little bit mushed, that's a technical term, a mushed stamped attempt, but I'm okay with that. going kind of for the ombre. Oh, okay, so my thing had, oh, there we go, okay. You guys just aren't commenting. It's like, why aren't my comments coming up? Okay, I never know when Facebook is working or not working, but so far it hasn't frozen up, so that's promising. So now I've got my 2 coffee cups, and you're probably wondering how I'm going to cut them out, since there's only one coffee cup die. So now my coffee cup is the wrong way. This one is the right way, so we'll do that one first. Let's set that aside so it doesn't get dirty. Move this out of the way. We'll take out our Big Boss here. We don't need that plate right now. And we'll do this first one, which is the normal. That's kind of the regular, the correct way, the same way. How about that? The easy way. Okay. And then, so we've got our one cup, easy peasy. Then we need our second cup. Now, what you do is you flip, so normally if you did this in a Stamparatus, you could, or Misty tool or some kind of positioning tool, you could stamp it on the one side the correct way and then stamp it exactly on the other side the other way, so that when you basically want to cut it out from this side. I don't think this is lined up. I'm just going to use my window. You won't be able to see me. I'm going to use the sunlight coming in the window to line it up, hopefully, as best I can with this other. So you can see it's slightly off from the stamped because I wasn't, I'm going to tape this down. I wasn't planning on, that was my mistake to stamp. If I left it white and looked through a window, it would be very easy to line it up. Luckily the sun has come out, so hopefully that is right. We will try this and see if it works. Okay, and then we've got our other cup that's cut in the correct direction. Now, if it bugs you because the edges go up, you can come in and you can run it through. I wouldn't run it through on, well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. You'd have to put some shims or something and run it through again, just because it won't be enough without the die to really flatten it out, but it is possible if that bothers you. But you'll see with what I'm doing with it, it doesn't really end up showing in the end. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm just going to keep my cups like this. Then I'm going to grab my clear embossing powder and some Versamark. And I'm just going to Versamark all over my paper. You could use the brayer for this, but I'm just being lazy, and I'm going to get a good coating of Versamark on here. And then I'm going to take a pair of tweezers to try and not mess up as much of it as I can. And I get a good covering of clear powder. And then I'm going to do the same. Oh, I wish I had my other tweezers handy. I have take it off, but I don't know where they are. They have disappeared in my great mess of a desk. Okay. I do not work well in messes. It's like, I think because my brain is always in a fog and tired, it just makes it that much worse. Okay. So we've got our two, they look very similar right now, if you can see them. Oh, I think I froze up again. But I can still see comments, so if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. I can't see as well what I'm showing you, but hopefully I'm in camera. If I go off, just send me a comment and let me know. And the reason I wanted to do the clear embossing powder is because ceramic is shiny, right? So now I've got my shiny mug instead of a dull looking. Oh, I'm taking all the, I'll just try and hook it down here since I rubbed off some of the powder. And then I actually did it with a mask over the coffee and then stamped the coffee, but really liquid is shiny, so it looked really silly with matte liquid. But it was actually cool because I did the mask and then I did the coffee after. It actually kind of made a division when I did two separate two separate times with the embossing powder, so it had like the edge where the coffee was sitting, so it kind of was cool. But I felt like it wasn't necessary, so I chose not to do it here. Okay, so we have our two shiny mugs, and hopefully I'm still live. I don't know if you can see that. They're nice and shiny. They look like ceramic, but they do look like the coffee's just kind of sealed in there, but that's okay. Oh, and now you want to make sure that you clear your mat, if that's what you're working on, of embossing powder, or else it gets everywhere. Embossing powder is fun, but it's messy. Okay. So we've got our mugs. Now all we need, which I forgot to cut, I believe, is a 2-inch by 1/2 inch piece of paper. This is 2, yeah. So, and it can be larger than 1/2 inch. You just don't want it to show past whatever item, like if you use something else. So there's no hard and fast rule to the width of this. There is a rule to the length of this. If you adjust the length, you'll have to adjust where you score. So you just don't want the width of this to go past whatever item you want to pop up, is kind of the idea. And then you're going to score it at 1/4 inch. And then, I guess 3/4 inch. And then 1 1/4. I'm going the backwards way, so hopefully I'm not confusing some of you. And then, go 1 3/4. So then you should have, I don't know if you can see that. So you should have, oops, where's the camera? 1/4 inch, and then you'll have 3 1/2 inches, and then another 1/4 inch is the idea. And you're gonna fold it all the same way. So it can make a square, like so. And then you're going to take some tear and tape. And you're going to put it on the 1/4 inch. And you want it to be on the folding side, so it's going to hang off, because if it's not, like, this is a 1/4 inch, so if you're slightly off of a 1/4 inch, you might have some hanging off. That's okay. Just make sure it's hanging off the end and not into the other parts. So you've got that. So we've got our mechanism, we've got our coffee cups, teacups, whatever you want to use them as, and then we've got our card base. So on the card base, I'm just gonna stamp my greeting here and a couple other things before I put my stuff on. So we got the cute hello there. Let's catch up. And then we've got kind of the coffee cup bottom stain. I like to stamp it off because I want it to be just light. And come over here. And then we've got, if I can find it, there's a splatter. Oh, here it is. You know, when your coffee spills. Oopsie. Thank goodness for photopolymer. Oy. Okay. Make sure I don't get that on my stuff. So I've got that. And then I want to put some splatter. And I'm going to do that with the Early Espresso, I think, just a bit darker. And, oops, for me, the easiest way to splatter is to take aqua painter and just get some water on it, pick it up, and tap. You need to have enough water that, oh, now I'm, oh, okay. I got a big splatter splash there. So if you don't like to have it uncontrolled, that kind of thing probably isn't the way to go, and you could just do little dots, or we have lots of stamps that have splatters on them, and you can use that as a more controlled splatter look. Okay, maybe I'll do I think I might try and do kind of a, should I add, what do you think? Should I add a splatter here, or is that okay? I don't know. We'll leave it for now. Okay, so then to do the pop-up, you want to remove the tear and tape, if I can find my take pick tool. I might have to use my scissors. Oh, there it is. You can use anything sharp, or if you have nails. I do not like nails, so I never have nails. And then you're going to put the edge of your cup here. Where do we want it to go? There. Okay, I'm gonna put it just, if you have something a little more square, you could put it right to the edge, but I'm worried that it's gonna show because it's rounded, so I'm just gonna put it about 1/4 inch up from the edge, and then I'm going to peel this one, and all you have to do is fold it down like so, so that you have this little square. And then you can put your mug onto it. So you can put more turn tape, or you can use some glue. Actually, maybe I'll use glue because then I can move around my cup a little bit more. I got some time to adjust, so I kind of want it so that it does hit the ground. Sorry, my head is in the way here. Ah, I put too much glue. I'm super wiggly. And then that way, when it pops up, it kind of holds up the card too. And my idea with the 2 cups is that I wanted it to kind of make it look like it was like cheers. Uh-oh. Why are we stuck? My glue got stuck. Oh, because I was wiggling it too much. I might have to put something. Okay, I'm going to leave that in the air so that it doesn't stick down, and I'm going to have to put something there so it doesn't keep sticking. Okay, maybe glue wasn't a great idea. It was too wiggly. Then I'm going to make sure my cup is behind and a little bit over. So it's like cheers, chin chin. And then I'm just going to put this block here because I want that one to be flat. But you kind of get the idea. It'll be in the envelope when you give it to someone, and then when they take it out, it'll pop up as long as the glue doesn't. We have to fix that glue spot. But other than that, it'll be good. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. I'll show you the one that works so you can see. So it would be in the envelope, and then it'll pop out of the envelope, and then when you sit it, it's just kind of popping away. So that's cute, right? Just a little pop-up. Okay, that was the simplest. Then we've got a bigger version of a pop-up. And I hadn't used these guys yet, and I really, really wanted to use them because they're so super cute. I think I got this on my first round of stuff that I purchased from the mini catalog. It's the Cutest Cows. It's a bundle. It comes with a punch, so not a die set. So if you don't have a machine, this is a good one to get if you just want to use a punch. Punches are super easy to use, and it matches some of the stamps that you can cut out easily, or you can just fussy cut. But if you know me, you know that I love anything that will cut it out for me that I do not have to fussy cut. So I decided to play with this cute set. And where did my papers go? I just had them out. We might have to skip this one. I just had the papers out. Where did they go? Oh, right here. It got buried. It's all good. All right, so we'll build our scene first, and then I'll show you how to build the mechanism. Okay, so I've got I wanted to make a scene with the cows, and I'm gonna start with the flowers as my kind of centering piece. I've got some memento. Look it up. And we'll kind of approximate the center. I could use the measuring lines on the rid of the matte, but that's just silly. Okay, and then I'm going to take some Pool Party. And surprise, surprise, the blender brush, if I can find it. There we go. I just was using it. Light, dark. Should we call it a blue? That's going to be the wrong blue. This is where dividing these brushes into colors like blue and green, there's these ones that are kind of in between, and then I don't want to, like the green would be too green, and so I keep meaning to bring down a roll of paper towels. I've seen people, they brush off their color onto a paper towel till it's as light as possible, which is brilliant because it's textured. I mean, it's kind of a waste of paper towel. I don't know if you could like find maybe a cloth that's textured that you could wash instead of using paper towels, but either way, I keep meaning to find something and I keep forgetting. So I used to try and wipe them onto the baby wipe, which is wet, but that's a mistake because it actually kind of activates the color that's on there. So instead of just kind of having your brush dry and ready to go, now the color is even more whatever last color was there. So I don't recommend using baby wipes unless it's the exact same color. Then go ahead. Otherwise, and I'm not gonna color on top of the flowers because obviously my sunflowers aren't blue. I'm just gonna come in here. So that's my sky. And then I need the green. What green did I don't remember. I think I used Granny Apple. There's. And we're gonna have some grass, and here I can go over my stems and my leaves because I'm gonna color in my leaves anyways with the green, so not too worried about that. Okay. You realize how little ink you need when you put a wee bit on a glass mat, or how far it can go even. And it saves the like having to re-ink your ink pads so much. So I really like that. All right. Then we've got, sorry, I just went out of Facebook and I wanted to try and go back in. Because last time when I was on my Zoom, I went out and in for some other reason. And then when I went in, it was no longer frozen. So that would be nice if I could see what I'm showing you. So much easier. Okay, look at that. I can see for now again. We'll see if it freezes up again. You washed yours. Yeah, I do wash them once in a while, but you know, if you're doing a bunch of stuff and like this, where I've got different colors going, I only have so many brushes, and I found they were starting to get stained. And so I decided I wanted to assign them colors, but just like a light and a dark of each, like a green, a red, I think I did pink though, so I might have to do like an in-between, a green-blue section, because we've got like the Coastal Cabana, the Lost Lagoon, like we've got quite a few in that section, and then the blues are really blues, and then the greens are really greens. So yeah, I might have to add a few more to my collection. Anyways, yeah, so then I'm just gonna quickly do my flowers. You know what? I'm not even gonna color all of this, because the whole point of this is the pop-up, and it's gonna take me forever if I do this whole thing and then I do the whole next thing. So let me just keep going. You know how to color. You don't need to watch me color. And then I'm gonna do the cows. So originally when I did the cows, I stamped them in pecan pie, and then I colored them with blends. And of course it blends in. You'll see. I'm gonna try with the black just to see the difference, and then you guys can see the difference too. Because I thought it would look, I didn't want the black, but then I don't know. Okay, so and guess what? I actually fussy cut. So with the cow, there's different, like this is a different body, but there's two different heads. There's three different heads, but there's two that you can cut out using the punch. So there's that one, and then this guy doesn't want to, he doesn't want to ink up. Okay, so I only have to fussy cut the body. So I'm just going to color this one guy and see, so you can see the difference. Let's start pecan. And I was going for, I could do like Jersey cows, but when we were in Scotland last year, we, and they don't have spots, so this isn't a very good representation of them, but the Highland cows are the cutest cows. I mean, they're cute, but they're not like cute. Highland cows are cute. They've got longer, shaggier fur, and they have like this tuft of hair that like this, but like it comes like down their whole face, and they're just, I don't know, they're cute. They're just cute. Okay, I can't talk and color at the same time. Obviously. This is why I try not to color a lot when I'm doing the lives, because then my lives would be very silent. Yeah, so they're all kind of a lighter kind of golden brown. So that was the that was my color inspiration for coloring my cows. These are not your Canadian traditional cows, but they are cows. Okay, I'm not even gonna color his face. We'll just cut it out and then you can see. So with our punches, I had lined up the stamp and the the two stamps so that I put them on one so that they can be punched out as one. The more efficient you can be, the better, obviously. The best way to do that, I've shown in other videos, and I'm gonna just tear it. Make yourself a template, like punch it, make a template, and then put your stamps in, and then put the block on top, and you've got a nicely lined up punch. So here, I'll show you that the face is, you can do either face and punch it out. And then I was trying to figure out what some of these things were. These are little horns. So here, I'll show. For the bowl. So these are the bull's horns. And then some of these are for, I think, if you want to do the tuft popped up, I think. And then I'm not sure what this one is. Like, maybe if you want, I think, so here's my, oh, it's the table. Look at that. So my guess is if you punch this out of colored cardstock and you want to piece together a cow without the stamping, you can use this for the spots, you can use this for the horns, and you can use this for the tail to add different colors to your cow. That's what those are. I just figured out that that's the tail. But I think you could use it as the hair also. I think you could give them a tuft of hair. Anyways, okay. So that aside, we're going to pretend that we've got our cows on the go here. And then we had our second cow. So you can see it stamps in the other direction. So I want them looking at each other. And like this is the girl with the udder. And then that's the boy with the horns. Okay. And then I'm going to make a pop-up piece to go in behind. So we have a piece of basic white. If you want it super sturdy, you can use the thick white. So I did use the thick white on my original one. The only thing I found was that because it's the thick white, it actually is it's probably at least the thickness of a dimensional to put it through the mail. So if you don't want it as thick, maybe stick with, this one is just regular basic white. So we'll see thickness wise how it goes, and then you can decide what works better. So we're gonna go every ½ inch on this one. We're gonna go at a half, and then we're gonna go to 1, and then we're gonna go to 1½. And then you're going to flip it over and do the same thing again. So ½ 1 and 1½. And again, this, you can adjust this to any size. Oh, look at that, it froze up again. I didn't grow up on a farm. No. But I did have a whole summer right across the street. We had rented a place at a lake, and there was a dairy farm right across from us. And there was dairy cows. But yeah, no. I'm no like I said, I think Highland cows are the cutest things. I do know that there are a variety of cows. I know Angus, I know, you know, I'm not totally, but no. I am not a cow expert. Okay, so let me just make sure I tell you this right. So we're gonna start by, you could alternate which side you're scoring on, so it's actually on the correct side, but to me it's not that important because you're not gonna see it, so even if it frays a little bit, it's not the end of the world. You're gonna do kind of the accordion fold with the 3 lines. So we've got an accordion or an M with an M. I'm showing that right. And then you'll do the same thing on this side. Yeah, it's funny. One of my friends from university, she grew up on a cow farm, but she didn't teach me anything about cows. Maybe I'll have to ask her some questions. Okay, so this is kind of just a larger, well, it's different than this one because it's not a square, but it's the same kind of concept where you've got, you know, it squishes down into the envelope. So, you know, what would you say is that? It's just a little less than a dimensional, maybe. And that's what gives you your pop-up. So what you would do is I've got, where's my card piece here? Okay, so I've got it so that I put my pool party here, and then I mount my background to here. I'll do it even though it's not completed because I can always add the stuff after. My Stampin' Seal ended right before I started this, so I just haven't and I wanted to clean it because it's all gooey. So that's why I'm using just glue. Okay, so then you've got your mechanism, and you basically want it to pop up on the back, and then you glue it down so that it pops. So you can use, again, you can use tear and tape, you can use glue, whatever suits your fancy. Tear and tape is always a little more difficult in terms of positioning, but the position for this isn't, it's not crazy. You're not trying to get it in a certain spot per se, so it's not the end of the world if you're, so you can kind of, I mean, if you want it centered, I'm just eyeballing the center. I put the one side, undo the other side, and fold it down. And then you've got your pop-up. Then you stick it to this side and it pops up your whole frame kind of. So here's my finished one. So here's the not black outlined. It's hard to see though with me not having done the face, isn't it? Okay, I'll finish it and I'll post the two. But I feel like it just matches the flowers more. I don't know. What do you think? With the black outline or without? It's hard without seeing the head, I think. But if you've got a vote. Yeah, so you can see already that this one is popped up way more than this one. And I think it is simply the difference of the thick white cardstock versus the basic. It just has, so maybe on this one you probably, I can't remember if I feel like I might have used basic. I think it would help to use the thick white. It just has that much more oomph to it. So imagine if it was like in the envelope. Here, I'll put it in the envelope. Oh, don't bend my tail. It's a little work getting it in the envelope. Not very coordinated, apparently. Okay, so you've got it, you know, it's gone through the mail. They open it up, and then they go boop, boop. And then it's really cute when it's standing up because it just kind of pops out extra cute. All right, that's the second one. Let's set aside. I don't want to lose all my pieces and parts. Just Okay, then we've got the last one, what usually the wow. I think it's a wow, but that's for you guys to decide what you think. How do I want to, I will show you what, we're at 50 minutes. I'm going to show you the mechanism, and I'll do a couple pieces of it, and then I'll show you the finished one, because there's a lot of stencil coloring on this one, and I should have done it ahead of time. I just did not have time to do it ahead of time. I ran out of time. I thought I was going to be quicker than I was today. I don't know why I was moving slow. All right, so I've got a piece of 5.5 by 8.5, so a half of a sheet of cardstock. And we're going to do some scoring again. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're going to score it at 2 on each side. So you're going to do 2, you're going to flip it over, and you're going to do it at 2 again. Okay, and then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to score it at, sorry, I just have a few different, I went through a few different iterations of this. I just want to make sure I've got the right one. Okay, then I'm going to score at 3 1/8. And again, I'm going to keep it on this side, but I'm going to flip it over again, and I'm going to go 3 1/8. Okay, so I've got my score lines, and then you want to fold the 2-inch mark, and then you fold the 3 1/8. You always fold, you make a mountain out of the valley is how I remember it. So right now this is a valley. I don't know if you can see that. And then you make a mountain. So that's why we did it opposite directions, so that it's opposite folds. And again, we're gonna make a mountain out of the valley. And once again. And my score looks, oh, maybe not. It looked crooked at first. Okay, so then you've got your finished card. Why is this measuring 4? It was, oh my God. Am I really thought out to, I measured and it was supposed to go to 4 1/4. I went, this is why it took me so long, because I made so many different templates to try and I was like 1/8, 1/4, like, where's my, I'm gonna measure my finished one, because I could have sworn it was 4 1/4. Here, don't look. Oh, it's 4. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I give up. It's 5.5. No. Yes, 5.5 by 4, not 5.5 by 4 1/4. You can obviously adjust your measurements to make it go to 4 1/4, but at this point, yeah, you can make you could totally make the heads wobble. So then it would be like pop, pop, but that would make it so that you would have to pay extra to put it in the mail, because the wobbly, I mean, you could make your own wobbly out of paper, but it still takes up pretty much the same amount of space. Because you know how, I don't know, we used to make those paper, like you'd zigzag it. I have to look it up. I don't remember how. We used to make, like, I feel like you take 2 pieces of paper and you cross them and you zigzag them, like give them at an angle, and then it makes a pop-up, and that would make a good wobbly. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some engineering playing. We'll make some new mechanisms. All right, so this is where now, obviously, the whole card base is your pop-up. So there's nothing off of the card popping up. You have the wobbles. Yeah, the wobbles they're easy. They're good. I just wanted to be able to do it out of paper because some people don't have the wobbles. Okay, so you've got these pieces. Then you want to have, uh-oh, did I forget? Hang on, I gotta get a piece of white paper because I forgot to cut. Hold the phone. Okay. I forgot to cut my pieces of paper. We are going to cover and have a piece here and a piece here and a piece here. So you need two pieces that measure 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. So this one is 5. This is 5 1/2. So go to 5 1/4. And 1 3/4. And we need 2 of those. So we'll do another 1 3/4. Oopsie. It's better to use the scoring blade when you mean to use the blade versus the other way. So I'm not gonna be too upset about that. Okay, so these pieces are going to go here, like so. And then you need a piece for the top, which is going to be 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. Seems like such a waste. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's not big enough. I was going to say, do I have a piece big enough? But I don't. Okay, 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. Let me just double check that this is 2 1/4. Now that my measurements are all wonky and not making sense. Two 1/4. Okay. So we will go with 2 1/4. Okay, so we've got our 3 pieces. And then I pulled out, I think it is still in the main catalog. It's probably retiring. I didn't, let me check. The stencils are, I can't even think. Oh, they're with you guys, the new catalog. At first, I was like, what is this? Yes, it is still current. I am using the one of these, Artistic Mix or Foursquare. It is the white, it's the Artistic Mix. I'm using this one, so you can see it's here. And I didn't write what's retired out of that stuff, so I'm not sure if it's retiring or not. What was I saying? Oh, the new catalog is uber different than anything you've ever seen from Stampin' Up. I was a little confused at first. They actually have a video on their demonstrator website that talks about why things are the way they are, and it makes sense. And so, and I found as I looked at it more, sorry, I'm just looking for my stamp pads. It does, it's just organized in such a different way. At first, it's just like, what? And I couldn't find anything, and I was just so confused. But it actually is good. You just have to, I'll do a walkthrough when we're allowed to show you the inside of the catalog, which will not be till May, I guess. And we'll have to do like a how to go through the catalog, which I don't know if that's a good thing when you have to do a how to. Does that mean that it's not so great? Okay, so I've got this one here, and then I'm going to put some on the bottom of this one. So I don't know, like, you know, you don't have to do an entire stencil. You can just do bits and pieces, right? You always feel like you're supposed to use the whole thing, but who says you have to use the whole thing? Nobody says you have to use the whole thing. Just do whatever you want. Especially with having pieces and parts of, I should have taped it down, but looks like I might have moved it. Should I move it again? Well, we'll see. We might have a little bit of a funky, smudged look. And I just noticed now one of the pieces isn't popped out. Oh, a couple of them. Look at that. I've never noticed that before. There we go. Okay. So then we've got our 3 pieces. I will wipe this. You've got the idea of the pop-up. I'm just going to show you. So I used the, what's it called? Enduring Beauty. So I stamped it on a piece of cardstock, and then I used, it has dies and stencils that go with it. You've seen me use them before. So I've played with these, so you don't need to see me using them again. I used Fresh Freesia, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape. And then for the greens, I used Parakeet Party, which is retiring, by the way. So this nice green is going to be gone, and Granny Apple Green. So then I cut it out, so it has the stamp. And then it has the matching cutout for it. Probably goes this way, yeah. And then I stamped pieces on each of the edge pieces here. And I colored them again. So these ones are on the piece directly. This one is popped up a bit. So it, you know, it has, these are in the background. This is popped up. And then I did the same thing on this side. I just cut a piece of cardstock and stamped it and colored it. With all with the stencils. You could do it with blends. You could do it however you want. So this is where you can write your message. And so again, it'll be in the envelope. You take it out, it pops up, it sits really nicely. And so it's just kind of a pop-up of blooms of flowers. And then the Celebrate is from the, what's it called? This one, from the mini catalog, where you've got the hybrid embossing folder. So I actually only embossed it, and then I brayered it with Versamark, and then it wasn't enough to me, so I actually went over it with a Versamark marker. I don't think we have these anymore. I've had this forever. And I just wrote over it with the Versamark pen, and then I put more black powder because it wasn't as good as I would have liked it. And then I cut it out afterwards. So it took a couple of run-throughs, but that's how I got my shiny black Celebrate. So anyways, those are my cards. I love doing the stenciling. I believe there's another new stencil grouping of stuff in the new catalog, which I'm so excited about. I hope that they do more and more stencils because it's so much fun. So these are my cards for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully you make up some pop-up cards of your own. If you do, you can post them in the comments or just tag me if you post them, and I'd love to see them. All right. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Happy Easter. It's Easter this weekend. And we'll see you guys. Oh, I won't be here next week. I will be away at a competition with my son. But I will be back the week after. All right. Have a great couple weeks. We'll see you in a bit. Bye.